In this video, I'm going to be telling you what to study for if you want to get your PMP in the year 2023. I'm Andrew Ramdial, guys, and I'm the author of the best-selling PMP study guide, PMP Exam Prep Simplified. And with that in mind, let's get started. So, it's a brand new year. It's 2023. You want to get your PMP exam. Now, or I should say you want to become PMP certified. You want to be a certified project manager, which adds amazing value to your resume and opens up many doors that is probably closed on you right now. So let's get started with what should I be studying for. Now, before I get started, I want to point out something to you. Studying for a PMP exam is nothing, it's not something that's going to be easy. I know some people say they studied for a week or two. That's not very realistic. If you have done that, congratulations, but expect to study for a good couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months to pass your exam. In fact, I tell people it takes about 100 hours worth of studying to pass a PMP exam. 100 hours means that, hey, if you study for 24 hours a day for 4 days a week, you could do it in a week. Not realistic, but if you study for a few hours every day, you could probably finish it in a few weeks to maybe a month, maybe 2 months. So that's generally how long it takes people to study. So if you're wondering how long, think about it. 100 hours, study for 2 hours a day, it's 50 days to study. So let's get started. What materials are we going to be using? Now, before I get into that, I want to mention that when studying for your PMP exam, you have to know different types of project management. There are basically two types and one combination. The first type of project management is called predictive project management. Predictive project management is when your scope is known and you know exactly what you're trying to get and you just following a set of processes to get the output that you're looking for. The other type of project management is when the scope is not known, when the output is really not known and you're trying to create it as time is going on. This is called agile project management. Agile project management is heavily covered on your exam. Now, I do want to point out that agile is an umbrella term that includes different types of practices such as Scrum, Kanban, or extreme programming, and many others. Your exam also wants you to know the combination of predictive and agile, what is going to be known as hybrid project management. Now, PMI says that 50% of your exam comes from predictive and 50% of it will come from hybrid and agile methods. So you're going to want to know them really well. Your predictive and your agile methods, know them really well, and you'll know your hybrid with that too. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the books that we're going to be recommended here. The first thing up is a series of books from PMI. Now, if you're a PMI member, all of the books on this section here, I'm going to be replacing this PMBOK Guide 6th edition in a minute, is all free. If you are a PMI member, all right, you go to PMI website, you sign up, you become a member, which you should be when you're scheduling your exam, you get a discount on your exam. You're going to get all this for free. So all of this is free, okay? The first thing up that I would recommend you read is the PMBOK Guide 7th edition. Now, the PMBOK Guide 7th edition will give you all of the principles that you should be following as a project manager. It's not specific to predictive methods or agile methods, okay? It doesn't go into the processes that agile folks will follow or the processes that predictive folks will follow. It doesn't do that. It tells you the principles that all project managers should follow, like being honest, encouraging engagement from your stakeholders, building up your team nicely. That's what you're going to learn here. So this is going to give you a good basic foundation of project management. Now, if you have been doing project management for a while, you've been doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you're probably not going to gain a ton of value out of this book. I did read this study guide when it's not a study guide. When the PMBOK Guide 7th edition came out, I didn't really find much value to it because it really doesn't tell you what you don't know. It really tells you what you should have known already. So if you've been doing good project management, you've been a good project manager, hey, read this. And I still recommend you read it, even if you've been good, because maybe you've been doing bad things and you just don't know about it. Good book to read. It's going to give you that solid foundation. Now, when you're ready to learn predictive and agile methods, now you have these books at the bottom. A lot of students have told me that the exam is majority agile. All right. A lot of people have told me 60%, 70, sometimes 70% of the exam questions cover agile methods. And that's going to be from this book, the Agile Practice Guide. This is also, again, from PMI. Once again, guys, you can get these books free from PMI if you are a member. You can download them as PDF. The Agile Practice Guide is going to give you all the different things you should know about agile practices, agile ceremonies, for your exam. It also covers hybrid project management. Also, there's a whole, I think there's a chapter on that in that book also. And so that's a great book to read. It's not very big. You can read it in a few days. It's not a large book. Now, when it comes to predictive project management, so we got Agile here. The predictive one, you're going to have to study another guide. And that's going to be, I used to recommend the PMP Guide 6th edition. It's a very large guide, very large book, covers the 49 processes in depth with all of the ITTOs. Now, PMI updated this book. This book was sunsetted. Their words, quoted, sunsetted. It died. I did a video on this a while back. This book, technically, you can't buy it anymore. It's out of print. I think you can still download the PDF, but I don't recommend you read this book anymore. This book was replaced with the Process Group, a practice guide. So you have two practice guide here. This book will give you the 49 processes that was covered in the PMP Guide 6th edition. Again, that 6th edition doesn't exist anymore. This book will cover those 49 processes for you. So this is the book you should be reading now in 2023. A practice guide, a process group practice guide, and a agile practice guide. Those are the two books that you probably want to stick to. Run through the PMP Guide 7th edition. Run through it pretty quickly. There's not many exam content there. It's a lot of it is common sense. But for the exam specifics, you're going to want to know a practice guide, both practice guide here, the process groups and the agile practice guide. Now, if you're saying, hey, Andrew, that's a lot of books to read. I agree. These are a lot of books to read. The practice guide is a pretty large book. So is the agile. This is about 200 pages. This one here is about 300 pages. You're probably looking at around a little over 1,000 pages probably to read here. And the thing with these books is that they're not exam prep guides. Okay, they don't have practice questions. They don't have exam tips or anything like that. So what I did for you guys is I read them for you. I read the 7th edition in depth. I've read the Agile Guide in depth. I've read the process group, the process guide, process group or practice guide in depth. And I have gone through all of them. And for you guys, I've made a study guide out of it. If you know me, you already know the study guide. So you could read all of these. There's nothing wrong with them. I think they're great books. I have them on my shelf. Okay. Right now, I'm looking at my shelf over here. I have these. If you watch me in other videos, you see I have the books in my hands. I have these books, nothing wrong with them, but I would recommend you read my study guide. Obviously, I'm going to tell you my study guide is the best. Now, my study guide, PMP Exam Prep Simplified. So this study guide is actually Amazon's top selling study guide. If you go to Amazon right now, it is Amazon's #1 selling study guide. It has the most reviews of any study guide on Amazon right now. My study guide has helped tens of thousands of people pass the exam in the last couple of months. It has sold well over 100,000 copies. My e-learning course, my study guides, my exam simulators has helped over 100,000 people pass their PMP exam in the last 2 years. So if you're looking to ace your exam, hey, get this study guide. It's going to give you not just everything in those books that I just mentioned, but it's also going to give you a 35-hour course. My 35-hour course is very popular. You get close to 40 hours of video. You get a whole bunch of practice questions. You're going to get my famous PMP mindset that I created when I wrote this study guide that really helps you to nail down the questions and understand the scenario. And you get a bunch of practice questions with it. I do recommend to follow up the study guide with my TIA PM exam simulator, PMP exam simulator. Link is in the description below. So if you don't want to read all those books and you just want to get one book, just read this one. I think you're going to be fine with your exam. Check the reviews. Don't take my word for it. Go to Amazon and check the reviews yourself. Okay, so these are the things that I recommend for you guys to study. Listen, guys, I'm not saying just to study my stuff. There's a lot of other great materials that are out there. But this is my video, my channel. I'm going to tell you I have the best stuff. Look around. Hey, if you enjoy the way I teach, if you like the way I explain things and you watch my other videos, hey, get my materials. You will pass your exam. Now, also, if you're finding value from this video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, every Tuesday night, if you're new to 2023, just getting into the PMP game, join me every single Tuesday night. You don't have to be my student. Just join me every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, 7 p.m. and join me for practice questions. I'm going to be doing 10 practice questions with everyone. I'm also going to be answering any of your questions. If you have any questions about this exam that you would like to get answered, you don't know who to ask, I'm here. I can answer any questions about this particular exam, whether it is topic related, whether it is process related, like how to get your PMP. I'll be happily answering. I answer pretty much everyone's question. You can watch the past live streams there also. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a like. Again, it'd be greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.